Right, where were we? So we have the starting of a game here. We've got these messages coming through, and we've got an end state here. What we don't have is the randomness. So the gravity and the spaceship weight are the same each time. And we don't have the number of rounds. So let's add the number of rounds first. I think that's going to be the hardest thing. We're going to start off on round 1, I guess. We start on round 0. I don't know. Round 1. Let's start on round 1. Now we can just use the compiler to tell us where we've got things wrong. Line 113. Line 84. And here we're going to not update the round plus 1. Right. And let's just output the number of rounds for now to make sure that's working. $20, $30. If we type something like that, this goes up. So this is looking good. So in these places where we increment the rounds, so if round equals 10, 10 that, else captured. The same there. We're just going to keep adding 1. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, so there's a bit of duplication in there, but we're just going to leave it in there for the minute. Get the randomness done. And then we'll come back to it and see whether we... And we don't really want that. We don't really want that round counter. No, we don't need it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So we're good. So randomness. So in Elm, all these functions need to be pure, which means they've got no side effects. Randomness is provided by, we ask the Elm runtime, the Elm architecture that's running all this stuff in the background, to generate something for us. So when it generates that random thing, it's going to send us a message. And that message is going to be created world. And it's going to send us an int for the gravity and an int for the weight. Okay. I think this means that we can't use the sandbox. We have to use something which has something a little bit more than the sandbox. Let's have a look. Browser. So we're using the sandbox. What does element? Right. So one of the differences is the sandbox. The init method just takes a model in the sandbox. But what we really need is for the init model to send a command to the Elm runtime for it to generate a random number for us. Okay? And we can do that with random.generate. But it's slightly more complicated. We need our update method will now need to return a command as well as a model. And we will need to implement a subscriptions method. Okay, let's go do that. So we're going to change this to browser element. It will need a subscription. Subscriptions. And we'll just define that inline here. It takes a, it takes a model and returns compile it. Now it's going to complain. So it's now saying our update on our initial model are not right. Our update is fine, we can just redefine that here. That needs to now return. It takes a message and a model and returns a model command message. So I tell you what, let's change that to model update. And let's redefine update here. So it takes a message and a model returns a tuple of model and command message. So that's looking good. Our init now takes a flag, set of flags, and returns a model and a command message. So we can do that here. So flags, which we're going to ignore. That's going to return initial model. But the command we're going to use is random dot generate and we are going to call created world. Actually, I think we can do. We can just say appear can't find that module. Let's just install that one. The second argument to generate is not what I expect. So I think we just got the type signature pair wrong. Okay, so this is getting a bit hairy, isn't it? Of course, we need to tell it how many. So that's a bit horrible, right? Let's make that a thing. While we're here, let's just move these types to the place where all our types are. And let's say world generator equals random.pair random.int1. I'm just copying what we did up there. Random.int and that's of type generator. What am I doing? What language am I typing in? So our world generator is a generator. parts in. Yeah, it's quite right. Okay, and now we can pass on. We can replace this with world generator. So this is saying that we're not handling the created world message, and we're not. So we want another state here, which is before we've started. Give it a loading state. And our initial model, in which case, is now a loading state. And when we receive created world, so this is where this got slightly tricky, because two of our models directly relate, two of our messages directly relate to the guessing state. Whereas one of our messages relates to the starting state. So I'm not really sure what we're going to do here. We could split our messages and have some that are related to each model. Let's just get it working first. It's definitely not right. So if we do this, it should compile. So what we're saying is that if you get a message that you don't understand, just return the model. Don't make any changes. Okay. But what we really want to do is change this world, right? So if we're in the loading state, some model for loading state, or just hang on. Oh, we've made a real mess of this, haven't we? So that should be loading. Right, now we're getting there. So this is saying I don't have a thing for all the messages that may get passed. It may get passed. And there's update messages. Right, now this is saying what are we going to do when it's loading? And we're just going to Starship Take-off loading. Right. So we need to give a type annotation to the I think something like that. Right, so now it's loading. This is horrible, isn't it? And when we're loaded, if we get that created world, gravity weight, then we need to have this. Oh, this is not good, is it? Oh, we put those in a pair, didn't we, to make it easier to do the random generator. So every time we do this, the gravity should be a random thing. 6, so maybe it's 12, it's too low. Maybe it's 600, it's too high. Maybe it's 300, it's too high. 180, it's too high. 60, it's too low. 120, it's too high. 90, it's too low. 108, it's too high. 102, you got away, we did it. So that's kind of like, that's the complete game now. We've got the randomness in there. It's all a bit icky though, isn't it? Maybe in the next episode we'll have a look at ways we can tidy it up a bit. So it's 154 lines of Elm compared to 19 lines of Basic. Yeah. So in the next video, let's see if we can get rid of some of this nesting. What I really don't like at the minute is that it just doesn't, it's quite hard to work out what the game is. So let's see if we can fix that.